All right, good afternoon, everybody. I am going to move the button board. Well, wait, we'll do this first. We'll move this up so you guys can kind of see me. And then I'm going to take the button board and kind of put it in front of me, in front of the camera, so you can get a good look at it. Yes. The new button board is done. Kind of cool. I may take a picture of it just so that you guys can get a better look at it, especially things like the Superior bone rings, because I'm not sure what we use bone rings for. Have to be honest about that. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Yeah, I don't know what Superior bone rings are for. I don't know what we're using bone rings for, but I guess we would want Superior ones. The funny, when I look at those, the only thing I can think of, and if you guys know, let me know, because I'm not sure what they're used for, but I know that my mom had curtains when I was a kid, and they had like these plastic rings. In fact, I have a whole bunch of them that I got in a sewing kit, and they're plastic rings, and you put the fabric on the rings, and then you put them through the rod. It wasn't exactly like these. They were bigger and they were thicker. So I don't really know what that's all about. But anyway, so speaking of buttons, when we went through the buttons on cards last week, one of the things that I did was I removed all the cards that had like one button on them. I started a bag over here, and I even removed cards where the button had fallen off and I couldn't find the button or buttons. Usually when they're empty, it's a button that fell off. So I went back through my sets of buttons, because I have a lot of buttons that I put into little plastic bags. Like this is just one container of them, and they're sets of buttons. I also am working on a project, which you guys will see at the end of the month. It may be a two-parter because it may take me longer than I think, but you'll see. I'm not gonna let you know. But I was kind of sorting through some buttons that were in. They were actually in this jar. This is, I don't know if you can see it, but this is one of those green glass ball jars. It's a real one though. It's a vintage one. It's beautiful. It's got a tiny chip up here, nothing major, but it now has all, can you guys see? It's all metallic buttons now, and that's where they're going to live unless they're on a card. So anyway, what I did was, you know, when I'm sitting around Sunday afternoon, like this afternoon, before I started this, by the way, I'm rewatching X-Files, which is kind of fun. I just go through and I take buttons like these fabulous, look how beautiful these are. I don't even know if you can appreciate the color. The color is more of a raspberry, less of a purpley color. And this was an empty card that had 3 spots on it. So I put 3 buttons on it. This card, it's a little banged up. I had to tape it, but can you see these insane orange buttons? Yeah, this card I think had 1 button on it and it fell off. So I had to tape it up a little bit, but it was worth it to put these back on. These were hiding in a jar. They're not the prettiest buttons, but they're kind of cool. They're a weird, it's not quite gray. It's kind of that, I don't know. They call it greige, taupe. It's got a million names. They're plastic buttons. They're not expensive buttons. They're probably from the 70s, maybe even the 80s. But to have them all in a set again, or if someone who likes them says, oh yeah, I would like those 6 buttons. There you go. They're now on a card. And I just kind of sew up the back. I used like embroidery thread that I have laying around because I have a lot of like weird pieces of embroidery thread. And then these are just some green shirt buttons. This had 1 button on it that I took off, and I'll try and find some mates or something to go with it at some point, but I used it for these green buttons. I don't know how well you can see that they're green. And then these I also found in a jar. These were just all in a jar. Now this is obviously a set of buttons. There's 8 of them here. But they weren't on a card. They were just floating around in a jar. So I found a card that had 8 spots. It actually had 10, and I sewed them onto the card. So yes, that's what I do with my time because apparently I'm crazy or something. So before we get to the Lord & Taylor box of notions, which turned out to be some really interesting stuff, I want to show you a couple patterns I worked on this week. This one's very fragile. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to open it up for you guys. This was really cool. The envelope itself is what's really fragile. I don't know how well you guys can see. Like, I mean, it's basically eaten. Can you see something like kind of ate it? But it's also got a weird like stain on it that's some kind of yellowish, brownish. It doesn't feel oily. It doesn't smell bad. But whatever it is ate into the pattern ever so slightly. So there's definitely... and it's not insect activity. You can see where it dropped and a perfect circle formed around whatever this was. The dress on this is completely uncut. So it's just the jacket. So I put it aside for someone who might like it. I haven't put it up online yet. It's one of those unusual things, right? Here's another one. I'll take this out of the plastic for you. Great pattern. What were my notes on this? A little bit older, needed a little help. But again, another great pattern. And this one, I believe, no, this was all cut and counted. Yeah, this was all cut and counted. But again, very cool pattern. Doesn't need to go into a landfill, Then there was this pattern. This was a Learn to Sew. I think I've already had this pattern literally and sold it. This was also cut and counted, but in really nice shape. It's a really nice pattern. I've had it before. It looks so familiar to me. If I haven't had it before, I've had another 60s sheath pattern because, yeah, it's that cute. I also found some more patterns that were not cut, including this one here, which was this super cool doll pattern. It was uncut. Here, I didn't know. I actually have this already up on my shop. So that was kind of cool to find another one. It's always nice to have two of things. And then let's talk about Goodwill, because Goodwill did pretty well this week. I got to be honest. I found this, which I've already hadn't sold. I remember having this and selling it because I look how cute it is, right? It needed a new packaging because the packaging was bad. Other than that, everything was still in here. So that's great. That went up on the shop. And then because I can't walk away from fabric. Now this is obviously quilting fabric. And again, I think I measured this out at like 3.5 yards and it was $4.49 because at my Goodwill, all fabric is $4.49 until proven guilty. Like, I don't know why, right? And then the only other thing this week that we'll talk about really quick is I bought Gertie's new book. I got it used. I had a gift card from one of the parents for Amazon. So I went on Amazon. I got a used copy. I like it. It's interesting. This book is more about her process. And she does have a couple of patterns in here, but she doesn't have she has a couple dresses in here, but not the patterns. You can get them online from her, but then she shows you the directions are kind of in here. But I liked her process and I loved, let me see if I can find a picture. I love the pictures of her studio because her studio is like stuff like this. Like, yeah, man, I want that studio. Like her studio is great and it's so colorful and it just looks like the kind of place that you would think, yeah, anybody can get creative in there. Just like she's got mood boards and she's got the whole thing going on. Like the studio is really just a giant mood board. But anyway, I liked it. I'm not sure I would have bought it if I didn't have the gift card. And I say that only because I have yet to produce a dress out of any of Gertie's books. I tried to produce a skirt one time and realized that her size, I thought I was a size 18 at the time and I wasn't. I was closer to a 20. That was my fault, but it kind of screwed me up a little bit. So, all right. So let's start with the box, the famous Lord & Taylor Rose hat box. In excellent shape, by the way. Let me show you the inside. It's really nice. It's not all banged up. It's not moldy. You can see it is a little discolored, but that's normal. Lord & Taylor was in Philadelphia, back in the 90s, and then it became Macy's, or maybe in Macy's and then Lord & Taylor, but all of them originally were Wanamaker's, which was a local department store in Philadelphia that's very famous. Make a blouse out of the anchors. That might be a little bit too nautical, even for me, Pam. I haven't decided if I would do something like that, but I like the idea. I like your thinking. So I told you that I saw patterns in this. Now I did. Let's talk about them. So here's the first one. It's already up on my shop. It is a doll pattern. It is from a newspaper, one of the newspapers that you mail away for. I'll take it out of the plastic because it's a little too glary. You see, it doesn't even really have a great picture. Like it doesn't have a picture on the back of the doll. That's just the doll. But, unused. So it went up online. Surprisingly, it's already in somebody's cart because I didn't even know what to call it. I just called it mail order doll pattern number 702. And apparently it belonged to someone named H.G. Conifer, maybe. That's what that says. But hey, man, it's fine. It's up in the shop. Somebody already has in their cart. That's great. So we'll see. The other two in there, which were these, do not have any pieces. But their art is really cool. Their ephemera is really cool. I am thinking, because I'm always thinking of ways to use this stuff. I'm thinking that I have several of these. I'm thinking of putting them together and somehow figuring out how to do them as a sheet that you could scan and you could use them for like wallpaper or whatever, but it would actually be like a digital download type situation. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. There was also in that hat box buttons on cards. That's right, folks. And these are just pearly-ish white buttons, millions of these in the world, but I mean, it's nice. You can always have them. A whole sheet of snaps that were never used. Some unused embroidery needles, trying to see what kind of condition they're in. They're not bad. They're still sealed, still in the original packaging. And then, of course, last but not least, of course, there's a lot more stuff. Zippars. Yes, look, it's zippers. And this one is called, what's this color called? Nile green. Ooh, yeah. I love the photos on the back, right? This one, which is called Cielo, and this one is Natural. So 3 new zippers, all good. We love a zipper. Another little container, and this feels like it's glass. Oh, I think it is. Is it? No, it's plastic, but full of little tiny wood buttons. So nothing really to write home about. These are just really basic wood buttons, but I like this little thing. This is cute. Now, this is glass. I don't think this is plastic. I think this is actually glass. But that little thing was in there. Okay, some of you know what this is from having children many years ago or being into punk rock. I know it from both. I know. Look at this. I feel like putting it through my ear right now, right? Yes. Every punk wanted these, the giant diaper pins. We also had, speaking of earrings, right? I'm not sure what these are. I'm assuming they're keychains. They're some kind of bone. Oh, they might actually be real bone. I think that's marrow right in there. Anyway, yeah, I know it's a kilt pin, but it's not to punk rockers. It's not. If you were into punk rock, that wasn't a kilt pin. That was like oi oi pin. So I think these might be natural bone. I don't know. I don't really know what to do with them. I'm assuming they are keychains only because they have this kind of thing on top, right? Okay. Oh, look, ribbon. Oh, this is silk seam binding. There you go. Excuse me. Wow. Not actually ribbon. Silk seam binding that cost 25 cents. So this must be old. Supposedly 7 yards of it. So this is old. In that same hat box, she did have, we're about to look at it, a ton of binding. So let's just start looking at the bindings right now. She has some flex lace in a nice, lovely white color. Is this? Yeah, it's white number 30. Some Boilex rickrack. I love some rickrack. I don't really use it, but there's something about it. It just makes me feel so happy. And it's called Summer Brown. And then we have more rickrack in red. Mercerized cotton rickrack in just red. And seam binding in chestnut. Some seam binding. And when you see these prices, 3 yards, 19 cents for 3 yards, these are old. These got to be from the 50s. Oh, Coates and Clark seam binding. This is rayon. And we know how some people feel about rayon seam binding. In almond green. Someone who really likes rayon seam binding, I've noticed, is Bianca from The Closet Historian. By the way, if you haven't been watching her, you need to be watching her because what she did to her living room and her sewing parlor is nuts, gorgeous, unbelievable. Like, I don't have the whatever it takes to do something like that. All right, we got some more rickrack. In, oh, this is in rose. This is kind of a little bit lighter. If you look at it, you can kind of see it's a little bit lighter. Some more Boilex. This is just white single fold bias tape. It's cotton now. It's nice. It's cotton. Okay. Braid. Ooh. Midi braid, rayon and cotton, rayon covered cotton. Okay. In red. It doesn't look like braid though. Maybe it's just very small braid. And then we had, from JC, is this JC Penney's? I wonder if this is JC Penney's. Some more mercerized cotton bias tape. We had some yellow. bias tape. We have some seam binding. And this is also rayon. We have some rayon seam binding in an, what are they calling this color? Come on, you don't have the color on here? I mean, it looks orange here, but, oh, it's saffron. Excuse me, it's saffron. And then this is this cotton? Yeah, this is 100% cotton in Monaco blue. I love these names. Monaco blue. Okay, whatever. You go, girl. Some more. This is the jumbo rickrack in red. And then the one that I saw in the picture and thought, ooh, it's red glitter rickrack. I know. You know, like it's metallic and rayon rickrack, and it's kind of it's not gold or silver. It's actually like red metallic. It's cool looking. But if you like metallics, here we go. Yeah. It's just a card of metallic thread. I'm sure left over from some very interesting project that I don't know anything about. So there's that. She also had, I wish there was more of this, but it's kind of cool anyway. It is, oh, see, it's like this lace, but I think this is handmade, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. First of all, there's this that fell off. It's just a little tiny medallion, and then you have this. There's even a string coming off of this. So this is why I think this is handmade, because in this box was all of these. So we have this lime green mixed with white. We have the blue mixed with white. We have the multicolor. Here's like the green and pink, which to me is always like watermelon, right? And then we have more, this like brown and white. I don't think these are new, but some of them do still have the label in them. I mean, this one's definitely not new. There's a pin in it. There we go. So that's not new. Some purple and then lighter purples. So I don't know how to do this kind of crocheting. I know it's actually called tatting, right? You use the very small very small needles, and you use this to make this kind of stuff. But it's kind of cool that there's already some stuff in there that's done. Some orange and yellow and white, a little teeny one of like a light purple, a little teeny one that's mixed yellow and purple, and one that is small and mixed white and red. So there was a lot of that in there. That's why I'm pretty sure that she did that herself, whoever she is. I don't know who this belonged to. I don't think the woman had sold it to me that it belonged to her. I think she was just selling it on, but whatever. Oh, look, thread. But, you know, it's mercerized cotton black thread. It's kind of like that kind of thread you need all the time anyway, whatever, right? In the box were lots and lots of different size wood spools. Now, I don't know any teachers right now that are doing crafts with these, but it used to be, I remember when teachers used to save these for crafts. In fact, they used to just save spools, you know. All right, so the other thing in here were lots and lots of these, which I got to figure out what to do with them. But they are, these especially, there's a whole bunch of them. These are all brand new. Like this one. This is ripped, but they never took anything out of the package. Same with these. These are like the smaller patches, never taken out of the package. Same with this. The package was ripped, but they never took anything out of it. And this was from, doesn't say. It's just a special. It was 18 cents. That's very special. There was a single piece of felt, which I believe probably belonged to some kind of a button as a prize. I'm going to figure out what to do with that. And then there were a couple of these patches that were just kind of stray. They had been cut. They were kind of stray. They were just hanging out in the package. And I thought, well, I'll figure something out. And then there was this entire bag, which I didn't really go through. I'm going to quickly go through it just because it's not all the same. They're wood beads, but it's not all the same thing. Oh, if I can get the thing open, we're just going to rip it open up. The bag's kind of old and nasty. I'll put it in a new bag. So we have like giant beads like this and this, right? These are wood, by the way. I can feel that they're wood just by touching them. And all the way down to these like, whoop, these smaller orange beads. I'm trying to see what other colors are in here. Oh, we had some different shapes too. Smaller red balls. There's some really cute yellow ones. Again, no idea what I'm going to do with these. These to me really seem like they're macrame beads. Yeah, see, they seem like macrame beads. I remember my mom having stuff like this back in the day, right? And there's a fair amount in here. There's little sets of them. I'm probably going to put them together so that they can be used kind of together, I guess, would be my idea. And I think that's it. I think we've seen, well, oh, wait. This one is a red, white, and blue bead. Oh, boy. Tell me there's more of those. Oh, yeah, there's at least another one. So anyway, it's a whole bag of these. The bag itself is like got that weird, you know, I don't want to call it dirty, but you know how old plastic gets that weird feeling to it? Yeah, it's just not, it's not great. And so that was it for this week. Not sure what I'm going to do with this because I don't really have any hats per se. I got it upside down. There we go. But it's a cool hat box and it's still in good shape, which is nice. I was thinking maybe I could put, I don't know. I was kind of thinking of maybe putting buttons on cards in there, but it's kind of a problem. But that's it. So I am working on a project that I am going to keep a secret for now. Sorry. I think you guys are going to like it. So I probably won't see you for the next 2 weeks. My plan is to try and finish this project and to show you the project Labor Day. And then after that, there might have to be a second time that we look at it. There might be part 2. But until next time, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm kind of glad we're under a half an hour because I got to now clean this all up, including all these buttons all these little wood beads that are in the nasty plastic bag that I'm going to have to put into smaller bags, which is going to take me a little bit of time, but it's not a big deal. I've been doing all this stuff. I just sit and watch these reruns of X-Files. I love it. It's great. I've been watching X-Files and Twin Peaks. It's great. I'm redoing the whole like 90s thing. And it's great because honestly, I was watching Twin Peaks and I was watching X-Files and I was trying to remember, I'm pretty sure the guy who did, or the woman who wrote the books for Outlander, see, I think it was the person that directed the series, said that they grew up watching X-Files. Like, it's funny to think that X-Files may have led to Outlander. But in a way, when you think about it, yeah, because X-Files was all this like stuff that was hard to understand and it didn't make any sense and it was weird and it was odd and all that. So I think we should be eternally grateful for X-Files for doing all this weird stuff that prepared us for things like Outlander. So there you go. There's my 2 cents. But until not next week, but the 2 weeks after that, I might even go all the way to Labor Day. This is a big project. It might take me a while. If anything else comes up, I will certainly put it up online so you guys know what's up. I think I'm going to try and take a good picture of the button board because it's looking pretty good. And until next time, thank you for stopping by. Thanks for always hanging out with me. I hope wherever you are, the weather's excellent. It's raining here today, but that's a whole nother story. And until I see you next time, stay well and take good care of yourself, and may the road rise to meet you. See you guys.